on YouTube called LifeOnMarz. My nickname is Mars, hence the title there. Most of my channel content is on gaming, but I dabble in some other things too. For instance, I just filmed a doggy IQ test with my friends last week. So I wanted to sit down today and give you an idea of what YouTubers use as far as equipment goes. You don't need all the fanciest cameras in the world and all the fanciest equipment. Honestly, this will do just fine. But if you do want to invest a little bit more, I'm going to show you what camera I use and the mics I use as well. Also, if you're spending $1,000 or so on a camera, don't bother spending like $80 on a case. Get something that's like 20 bucks from Amazon. So this is my camera. It's the Sony Alpha 6300, and right now I just have the kit lens on it. Also, this camera has one of the fastest autofocuses I've ever seen, which is a huge if you're a YouTuber because you're moving things in and out of the frame and closer and further away from the lens, and you want to make sure what you're doing is in focus. For audio, initially I was actually just using my iPhone's audio recorder and just syncing up the audio, but once I had the money to get a professional mic, I went with the Rode video mic. Now there is one that's like one tier above this that's even better, but I went for this one just to save a little bit of money. I think it was $100. You just plug it into the camera and go, and you don't have to turn it on or mess with anything. It just automatically records audio, and I love these mics. I think Rode makes some of the best mics on the market, and I definitely look into those if you're looking for a professional mic. I have used many different things for tripods throughout my YouTube career, from tables to tripods from probably like the early 90s that my dad gave me, but right now I'm using this Benro tripod. This was another B&H purchase. It was on their flash deal sale, so I got it for like 60 bucks off, and it's awesome. But actually, the one I'm using more than anything right now is the Joby Gorilla Pod. This is the most handy thing in the world. If you've ever watched Casey Neistat's vlogs, you know that he has this in pretty much all of them. It's great because you can just bend it around and have it be whatever height you need. You can attach it onto like poles and things so that it's there, and it even has a little level on it. So right now I'm using this a ton. I've even started to use it for vlogging as well, because I can put my camera on the top of it and vlog like this, and then the camera's not quite as close to my face. I think the number one thing to think about when you're deciding what videos you want to do is that you should be into whatever you're making. Because if you're not into whatever you're making, your audience can tell that you don't really like it. So that's tip number one. But beyond that, one of the strategies I use is thinking about the trends that are already going on in the internet and figuring out how they fit my messaging and my channel and the types of content I like to produce. So for instance, if there's a challenge going around the internet, you can think about, okay, well, how does that challenge fit into my messaging? So for me, it might be the mannequin challenge. That's a big one that's going around right now. If I wanted to do something like that, I'd have to make it gaming related. So maybe I'd have a group of friends over and we'd all be sitting around with our controllers, our headsets on, and we'd do the mannequin challenge that way. A lot of times my ideas just kind of come to me. I'll be like brushing my teeth, or I'll be washing my hair in the shower, and since my ideas just come to me whenever, I make sure to have this little book with me, and I write down all of my ideas in it, and then I will like cross them off or check them off when I have done them. And as you can see, I have tons and tons of ideas that I haven't completely finished yet. So the most popular video on my YouTube channel right now is called Expectation versus Reality, Horses and Video Games. It was actually the first or the second video I had done on my channel. So that video told me that there was a niche audience in gaming that also was really into horses. And so ever since that video started to see a lot of success and I started to get a lot of subscribers from that video, I thought to myself, okay, what else can I do that combines horses and video games? And that's where this idea for my favorite horses and video games came, which is the video I'm producing right now. And I wanted to personalize the idea. I didn't want to make it just like the best horses in video games. I wanted to make it my personal favorite horses, because everyone has a different opinion, and the ones that are going to top my list might not be the top of everyone's list. And so once I had the idea, I I wanted to research it. There were horses in my head that I had already thought about that I wanted on my list, but I wanted to see what other lists were out there and see what other people thought, just in case there was one that I had forgotten about and thought, oh yeah, I definitely want to put that horse on my list. And in addition, I wanted to do some research to make sure that whatever I was saying was accurate, of course, but also that the reasons for why these horses were on my list were a little bit more fleshed out. Of course, I had things in my brain, but by reading other things and reading about the horses again and kind of reliving the experiences of playing the games, I was able to think, oh yeah, that's another good reason to add to my list. And that's sort of how the idea was born. And from there, I script it out either on my computer or I'll write it out and I'll film. And it's not like truly scripted. It's like, these are the points you want to make, and then I kind of talk around that so that it feels a little bit more intimate with my audience.